Level 1. The hang around. You are 21 years old, and you are going nowhere. You work a dead-end job as a mechanic, your hands are permanently stained with engine grease, and you ride a beat-up Harley-Davidson. You know the rule. If it isn't a US-built motorcycle over 750 cubic centimeters, a Harley, an Indian, or a Victory, you don't even exist in this world. Every Friday night, you go to a local dive bar where the air vibrates with the deafening roar of custom exhaust pipes. They wear leather cuts with the famous red and white insignia. You want that brotherhood more than you want a brief, but you don't ask to join. Asking is a sign of disrespect. Instead, you just make yourself useful. You become a hang-around. You are officially invited to a few club events and allowed to stand outside their no-gathering places. You fetch beers, you watch the bikes in the freezing rain, and you sweep the clubhouse parking lot. You are basically invisible, treated like stray dog, but you are constantly being evaluated. The full patch members are looking for the right combination of personal qualities. They run quiet background checks. If you have ever applied to become a police officer or a prison guard, you are permanently excluded. If they catch you using intravenous drugs, you are violently drungard. You exure money. You take obvious. You just want the respect that comes when civilians cross the street to avoid walking near you. You are waiting for the knot. Level 2. The associate and the prospect. A year of fetching beers passes. You haven't quit, and you haven't opened your mouth to the cops. A massive guy with a braided beard pulls you aside and tells you that you are now an associate. This stage lasts another brutal year or two. You hold packages without asking what it sound. You start to backs. You take the fall of the police show up. Finally, after passing every quiet test they throw you, your status changes. You are reclassified as a prospect. They new leather vest is painfully empty on the back. You are strictly forbidden from wearing the winged Dutch logo. You are allowed to wear Palm, Rocker, Posh, aka stay or Totoy, alongside small, rectangular and C-Potch. You're invited to a clubhouse, but you have absolutely no voting privileges when the club conducts its official meetings, which they call church, Your life belongs entirely to the club now. But the hardest test is the road. Before you can ever be voted into the Brotherhood, you must travel to every single charter within your sponsoring charter's geographic jurisdiction. You ride your Harley hundreds of miles across the state, pulling into unfamiliar clubhouses to introduce yourself to every single full house voting mentor. They ask you growing questions. They test your loyalty. During this time, you learn the club's sacred history. You learn that the club was founded on March 17, 1948, in Fontana, California by a World War II veteran named Otto Friedli. You learn that the club's name was inspired by the fierce, death-defying Hells Angels aviation squadrons of World War I and II. You learn that they know there's an apostrophe missing in the word Hells, but the official club stance is, it is you who miss it. We don't. You absorb this lore until it completely replaces your own past. Level 3. Faux patch member. You are 25 years old. You stand perfectly still in the center of a smoke-filled club ass. The voting members are seen around you. To become a full member, your prospect status must be unanimously confirmed by the rest of the club. One single niggly vote, and you have stooped to your vest and cast out forever. But you have proven your blood. The vote is unanimous. At a formal induction ceremony, you affirm your lifelong loyalty to the club. The charter president steps forward and hands you your final patches. The top, Hells Angels, Rocker, and the legendary Deadhead logo. The design was created Deadhead logo by Frank Sadlak, a past president of the San Francisco Shire. You are officially patched in. You sew the diamond-shaped 1% patch onto chest. It features red text on a white background with a red mirrored border. The term 1%er was born after a 1947 motorcycle ride in Hollister, California, when the American Motorcyclist Association allegedly claimed that 99% of riders were law-abiding citizens and only 1% were outlaws. You are the 1%. You pay your dues, $20 a month to the local charter and $10 a month to the state charter, which funds motorcycle runs, funerals, and travel for club officers. You stitch AFFA onto your leather. Angels forever, forever angels. The Brotherhood is absolute. But you also realize that this isn't just about riding motorcycles. The United States Department of Justice the Australian Federal Police, and Europe will all consider the Hells Angels a global organized crime syndicate. You start guarding stash houses, moving diverting pharmaceuticals, methamphetamine, and cocaine. You learn to live by the club's chilling slogans. When dealing with outsiders, you remember the phrase coined by New York City member Big Vinny: when in doubt, knock him out. Level 4. The filthy few. Enforcer, you are 28, and you have transitioned from a biker into a Han soldier. The club is at war with a rival outlaw motorcycle gang over the control of lucrative narcotics distribution modes. The Hells Angels are massive membered, recognized as one of the big four motorcycle gangs in the United States alongside the Pagans, the Outlaws, and the Bandidos. When a rival club disrespects the red and white in your city, the charter president doesn't call a meeting. He just looks at you. You don't ask for an explanation. You find the rival member outside a bar, and you handle the problem permanently. A week later, you are quietly pulled aside and awarded a new, highly exclusive patch for your vest. It consists of 2 Nazi-style SS lightning bolts below the words "filthy few." When civilians or journalists ask what it means, you smile and give them the official club line. It's just a merit badge awarded to the brothers who are the first to arrive at a party and the last to leave. But law enforcement officials and prosecutors know the terrifying truth. The filthy few patch is allegedly awarded only to those who have committed or prepared to commit murder on the club's behalf. You also earned the Diquialo patch, a reference to a bugle call played at the Battle of the Alamo. You are awarded this patch because you physically fought law enforcement officers while resisting arrest. You are repping for the club, and you also command the local puppet clubs. The Hells Angels oversee smaller support clubs in the territory, the most prime being the Red Devils Motorcycle Club. You use these puppet clubs as campfire when dirty work needs to be done, like extortion or moving heavy drug shipments. You order the support clubs to do it. Shielding the fully patched Hells Angels from police scrutiny and RICO charges. If a puppet club member proves himself, he might get to join the Angels. If he gets caught, he goes to prison in silence. Level 5, Sergeant at Arms and Intellectual Property, you are 34. You are massive, covered in tattoos, and completely terrifying. At the weekly church meeting, you are elected Sergeant at Arms. You are now part of the official officer corps of the charter. You are a rectangular patch denoting your title right above your charter location patch. You are the Minister of Defense and the enforcer of discipline for a charter composed of 10 to 12 violent outlaws. If a member breaks a rule, uses hard drugs, or steals from the treasury, you are the one who drags them into the basement to beat the lesson into them. But your job isn't just physical violence. It is protecting the club's corporate empire. The Hells Angels incorporated back in 1966 and aggressively trademarked their name and insignia. You are the street-level enforcer of a massive intellectual property portfolio. The club's lawyers sit in high-rise offices and sue massive corporations. They sued Disney over the movie Wild Hogs. They sued Marvel Comics over a character named Hell's Angel. They sued Alexander McQueen for putting the winged skull on luxury dresses. And they even sued Toys R Us for sewing yo-yos with the Death Head logo. The club's lawyer, Splicinisti. This isn't just about me, it's about Mevishu. He got one these rings on. A member might get really upset that you're an imposter. Your job is to deal with the imposters on the street. If you see a civilian wearing the number 81, the medium standing for the 8th and first letters of the alphabet, H in a, you immediately check them. Supporters are allowed to wear Support 81 gear, but the actual Death Head logo is sacred. If someone wears it without earning it, you don't call a lawyer. You rip the jacket off their back and leave them bleeding on the asphalt. Level 6. The chapter president, you are 45 years old. You sit at the very head of the heavy wooden table during church. You are the president patch. You hold absolute, autonomous authority over your city's charter regarding member discipline and policy. You are no longer risking your own freedom on the streets. You are a CEO of a criminal franchise. You oversee the millions of dollars generated from drug dealing, trafficking in stolen goods, extortion, and prostitution operations. You launder this money through legitimate motorcycle repair shops and tattoo parlors. Because the Hells Angels do not have a single international or national president, power is highly decentralized. You travel frequently to represent your city at massive regional governance meetings. If you operate in the West, you attend the West Coast Officers Meeting, WESCOM. If you are east of Omaha, Nebraska, you attend the East Coast Officers Meeting, ECOM. At these meetings, you sit down with those other presidents. You coordinate massive patchovers, the process of amalgamating smaller outlaw motorcycle clubs into the Hells Angels empire. Over the years, you oversee the absorption of clubs like the Satan Slaves, the Popeye MC, the Grim Reapers, and the Dirty Draggles, violently expanding the Hells Angels' global footprint. The stakes at this level are life and death on a massive scale. You remember the history of the Quebec Biker War, a brutal turf war that began in 1994 when the Hells Angels tried to establish a monopoly on street-level drug sales in Canada against the Rock Machine. By the time the dust settled in 2002, there have been over 160 murders, 300 injuries, and countless bombings. You know that peace is just a temporary pause between wars. You manage millions, but the stress is breaking you. Federal agents follow your motorcycle in unmarked SUVs. Your phones are tapped. You live by the terrifying reality of the club's darkest slogan: 3 can keep a secret if 2 are dead. Level 7. The Oakland Mother Charter Connection. You are 55. You are a legendary figure within the organization, and your influence stretches far beyond your home city. You are summoned to Oakland, California. While the Hells Angels have no official mother charter, the Oakland Charter, famously headed by Sonny Barger, has maintained a preeminent position as first among equals for decades. It holds the largest membership in the United States, and its approval is required for major club expansions. Any motorcycle club in the world seeking to join the Hells Angels must apply directly to the Oakland Charter. You sit in the room where these applications are reviewed. You monitor the applicant clubs, dispatching investigators to ensure they are ruthless and profitable enough to wear the red and white. You are managing an empire of staggering size. Over 6,000 full patch members spread across 592 charters in 66 countries. You control operations stretching from Auckland, New Zealand, the first charter outside California, founded in 1961, to the deep criminal underworlds of Europe and Australia. But with this absolute power comes absolute paranoia. You are a prime target for every major intelligence agency on Earth. You spend half your time managing federal RICO indictments and paying millions to defense attorneys to keep your brothers out of Supermax presence. The club's official public relations stance is that you are simply a group of motorcycle enthusiasts organizing social road trips and fundraisers. You claim that any crimes committed are the responsibility of the individuals, not the club as a whole. You say this with a straight face to the cameras, but behind closed doors, you know that the blood of hundreds of rivals pays the roads you ride on. Level 8. The end. You are 65 years old, and the highway has finally run out. Entire governments are moving to eradicate you. In May 2019, a court in Utrecht issued a historic verdict, making the Netherlands the first country in the world to completely ban the Hells Angels, permanently outline the entire club as a danger to public order and the rule of law. And the United States, a massive, multi-agency federal raid kicks in the doors of your fortified club ass. You are arrested and indicted under the Racketeer-Influenced and Corrupt Organizations, RICO, Act for conspiracy to distribute narcotics and commit murder. The trial is a media circus, but you adhere strictly to the Outlaw Code. You never flip. You never talk to the authorities. You are convicted and sentenced to 30 years in a maximum security federal penitentiary. But before you are locked in a cage, there's one final, devastating page to the club business. Even after 40 years of spilling your blood for the Brotherhood, the patches on your leather vest do not belong to you. They remain the legal property of the Hells Angels Motorcycle Corporation. Upon being ejected from the streets and sent to prison, a club officer visits you to collect your colors. You must return your patches to the club. You sit in a concrete cell for 23 hours a day. You have no vest, you have no Harley Davidson, and you have no Filey. You gave your entire existence to the red and white. Your motto was Angels Forever, but you will spend forever staring at a steel door. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, back at a smoking dive bar in your hometown, a 21-year-old kid in a cheap leather jacket is currently washing motorcycles in the freezing rain, waiting desperately for his chance to take your place. The cycle never ends.